And now we're live.
Yay!
Okay. Show notes. Show notes. Yeah. What? Yes, I did. Okay. Okay. You gents ready to get this train rolling?
Yup.
Sweet. All right, let's get started in
Every time I okay, go ahead.
3.
Just thinking, every time I see a movie, like every time I see someone do thumbs up, I think of the movie Dutch. You know, where he like does the hitchhiking thing, where he's like,
It's the weirdest frame of reference for that.
Yep.
"All right, I'm done."
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston. Going around the room, we got Knobs.
What's up?
And we have the Hannah.
Hey, hey.
The one and only.
Yeah.
There should
Well,
only be one.
not anymore. I did just get married.
Ah, well. One of two.
One of two.
Yeah. It's a package deal.
Well, I was just saying something a little more seedy than that, but
Oh,
okay.
Well, that's not.
Yeah.
This is a very clean podcast, sir. All right. Brand new episode of Picking Up the Pixels out now. We talk a lot about the Final Fantasy series, especially Final Fantasy X. So if you want to hear some hot Final Fantasy X tips, get on over there. Teach you about the grid sphere, Blitzball, other.
Blitzball sports.
Teach me how to
Yeah.
blitz. Seriously, though, teach me how to blitz. I'm terrible at it.
It's we'll talk about that in our Final Fantasy X segment.
Yeah.
So, without further ado, Mr. Knobs, what have you been playing?
Well, I'll tell you what. Monday night game night, AC Brotherhood was a success.
Hey.
Everyone had fun.
Nice.
Until people started realizing it's like, hey, you're level 29. You got stuff we don't have. I was
Yeah.
like, I know.
Whoops. See you in hell.
I totally forgot how to. I'm gonna throw this right out there. I hardly won at all. Like, I maybe was on top of the crew one time. Like, and it was, who was it? I think it was Tom Gamer was really good at that game.
Nice.
But I'm still trying to get my mind around what I'm doing. There was a time where I forgot I was a hunter, and I sat there and just walked around the whole time. I was like, oh, come on.
Oh, I'm supposed to do stuff.
Yeah, do stuff. But it's entertaining. I mean, it just, everyone's just like, there's no way you could have known that was me type of arguments a lot.
Yeah, that's what I loved about that game.
Like my favorite thing was I changed a whole group of people, and I hid in a leaf pile, and I sat there and watched two guys kill every other dude that changed. Like, this is awesome. I forgot who was it, just kind of randomly, hey, wait, and just jumped in and got me. But I think that game has got a lot of potential. I think we did Most Wanted a couple times where you had two groups of the same guy. Like, one group's one dude, the other group's the other dude. And then we did the one where everyone's hunting each other and everyone's got their own specific target, but someone's hunting you as well.
Oh, yeah.
That worked out pretty good because we only really had 5 people show up for it. So I think with a full boat, that could be madness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I gotta find my copy of that game. I've got one somewhere.
I
think
really
we all have
forgot
a
how
copy of that
much,
floating around somewhere.
Yeah.
I really forgot how much fun it was to run around in that world and hang off of stuff and jump and just kill random civilians because your targeting sucks.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought I had Scott lined up. I was right on a bird perch. I was ready to pounce, and I landed right to the person next to him. I was like, well, I'll take my stun like a man.
Yeah. You don't really have a choice at that point.
Now, at least it wasn't as bad as when I got embarrassed when I tried to play by myself, where the dude stunned me 4 times in a row at the end of the match.
Yeah.
I was just like, man, I'm just gonna go.
It's the internet again.
Yeah.
But it was a good time. Next week we're gonna do Gears 3. I think we're gonna try and do that every other week. Is to have Gears just to kind of get more numbers in because
Yeah.
he probably has that game anyway. So
Yeah.
it should be a good time. So that we're looking forward to that next week, and then maybe the week after we'll try some Dead Space Dose
Nice.
and see how that rolls.
Nice. I forgot that had multiplayer.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's got that really good adversarial mode.
Yeah, it's actually pretty similar to Left 4 Dead, but to get the better necromorphs, you only get them deeper into the match. Kind of like
Okay.
Beast Mode in Gears of War 3.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a cross with that, and then a lot of progression points versus trying to just survive. Like you're trying to complete objectives and survive at the same time. So it's
really good.
really cool. It has no
Yeah.
reason to be as good as it is.
Yeah.
Next, I played Fez.
Yes.
Ooh, nice.
And PSA, don't play this when it's the only light in the room.
No. It will
Because
burn your retinas out.
it literally broke my brain for like a half an hour
Yeah.
where I couldn't even focus on the TV.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I played probably about 20 minutes of it. I didn't realize it actually reboots itself at the beginning. So that kind of caught me off guard.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like that's one of the best jokes in that game.
For sure.
Like I'm like, wait, I'm in.
You're like, wait,
but
did I
can
just
move
break
the
this
room.
game? What happened? What did I do?
Yeah,
Is this a bug?
Was I not supposed to touch the glowy block thing?
Yeah.
No. Eh. But yeah, so I played a little bit of that. Really didn't have enough time to really get into it.
Mhm.
Because at that point, it literally, like, my eyes just felt fatigued.
They were bleeding.
It literally is so colorful and it's so bright. Oh my god!
Does it look
I
good on
felt
that
like-
screen?
Oh, it looks amazing. It literally is eye-bleedingly good.
Wow.
Like I don't think my eyes literally adjusted for at least 20 minutes afterwards.
Nice.
Like the TV didn't even look like it was the right color anymore. Like like I'm like, oh, oversaturated greens.
Oh,
I
Vita, you're
can't-
too good.
Oh, where's the eco mode to save my battery and oh LED? Oh, it was bad. Like it
Yeah.
literally, my eyes hurt. But I will only play that during the daytime now
Yeah.
because I can't really, or a well lit room.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna do with that. Yeah, I really want to get into it, and like that just it hurt my head.
Yeah, I'm very curious to hear what you think once you start getting into the puzzles.
Yeah, because I'm all about puzzles. Oh man, I forgot the right. I literally just played that.
Yeah, pro tip for anyone that's playing Fez for the first time, don't worry about getting all of the cubes to get the ending. You just, once you get, I think it's 16 cubes, you can go to the ending. Just do the ending.
Nice.
It'll boot
Nice.
you into a new game plus, and you can keep playing.
Oh, cool. That's good to know.
Yeah, don't worry about collecting absolutely everything.
Yeah,
That's gonna be
I'm
real
looking
hard for
forward.
me.
I'm looking forward just to kind of play around in that world and have some fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least try and maybe bend my brain a little bit different before it breaks it by its gorgeousness. Those particle effects are like, for a game that has such a simple look, it is so complicated.
Yeah.
Like it to have a simple looking game look that good, they really did an amazing job.
Especially once you
Yeah.
start changing the perspective, you're just sort of like, wait, what's happening? My brain.
It's amazing how smooth and how crisp everything is. Even like
Yeah.
the rotation, especially with stars in the background. Like I'm like, this is just amazing.
Yeah, they did a really great job on this, on all three versions on the Sony platforms.
Yeah.
But I am looking forward to kind of sitting down and just jumping into it without really trying to get a FAQ or anything. Because I just want to experience the Fez of the world.
Yeah, you'll be able to finish it without looking anything up.
And I forgot. Like, all right, so you start off and you're just the little white dude running around,
Mhm.
and then it does the whole reboot thing, and then you have a fez. I was like, oh, it's a oh,
I get it.
wow. I like the hat. I
Yeah.
think it looks cool, especially the little flick the tassel does on it. I was like,
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. So other than that, played some more Titanfall.
Nice.
Just kind of running around and enjoying the parkour so much. just running around, just running and gunning in that game is just so much fun. And I think I may have developed a problem with Battlefield 4.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I really can't stop.
Man, it pulled you right in.
Like, is second I get tired of using a specific gun, I unlock a new one. I was like, oh.
Ooh.
That carrot on
Well,
the end of that
let's-
stick is tasty, and then there's another
let's see
carrot.
let's see what this has. Oh, this thing sucks. Oh, I got a scope.
Ooh, this thing's cool
You
now.
know what? This thing's just too much. Oh, canted sights. All right. All right. And then this thing's just too drifty. Oh, you unlocked an angle grip. I'm like, oh, come on. Now this thing's awesome.
Every time.
I was like, oh no, this gun is amazing now. Oh wait, I got a new one.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna try this one out. It is the same thought train over and over again.
Ooh, piece of candy.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh. Well, now that I've unlocked mortars, now I'm just raining death on everything and just
man.
giggling the whole time. Like,
all
I'll
over
run off
now.
into a field, I'll plop my mortar down, I'll go run off into some bushes and just lay down, and then you have your like little tablet view, and you're just like, wait, turn. Oh, hey, there's some guys. Wait, throw down my ammo pack so I can reload. We even know the thing's like 80 yards away from me. Wait.
Whoop. Hey. Oh.
Mortars.
Enemy incoming.
Yeah.
Like I just like I don't know, I think because I found a subset of weapons that I really enjoy. The DMR rifles, I think is what they're called.
Sounds
Because
right.
like each class has like their own like set, like, you know, obviously support class has, you know, the big LMGs, which are drifty and suck. I'm not a fan of those at all, because I just feel like I'm like any other like action game. Like I got one under each arm, just raining death like Arnold. Then there's, you know, the support class, or the assault class has the assault rifles. Recon's got the sniper rifles, and I think the engineers have like an array of SMGs. But each one, there's 4 sets of weapons for each class, like different like mods, or not mods, but different models of guns. So take each one of those classes times 4, and you've got a bajillion guns to upgrade. Each gun has their own progression tree, and then
That'd be the death
I
of
don't.
me.
It's a shooter RPG is what it's boiling down to. It's like
There's so many experience bars. Oh my god.
they're everywhere. It reminds me like a larger version of what I did with Syndicate, where
Yeah.
everything kept having progression bars to it, except instead of one attachment, every gun's got like, I don't know, 30.
I gotta fill up all these bars. Oh god.
Like, I've just finished filling up all the unit class perk bars. Like, those are all 4 of those classes are full. So I got all the array of weapons and mortars and explodey bot things that. So I've never even heard of this even a real thing. There's this MR something or other. It's a little thing you put on a tripod, and within like I don't know, like 3 or 9 yards. I don't remember what it was. Let's call it 6 yards. Let's split the difference. 6 yards, it puts a 180 degree halo around you, and it blows up any incoming explosives before they hit you.
Nice.
How does that work?
Magic.
Very
Star Wars
carefully.
project.
Like, I mean, grenades, rockets, cruise missiles. It saved me from a cruise missile.
Jeez.
Like, I don't understand this.
Militarymagic.com.
I don't know.
Nanomachines.
Yeah, nanomachines.
But as my 360 was updating, I tried to jump into a couple matches, prior to playing my last game. And I joined the squad as a commander.
Okay.
Which I have no idea I'm doing. I'm like shooting orders and stuff. Apparently the guy is, hey, I like your orders, whatever. I'm dropping
I like the cut of
UAVs
your
and
jib.
like you're not even saying anything. You're just like, okay, I want boom, go here, boom, go here, boom, go here, boom, go here. And you sit back and watch, and it's like, oh wait, I've got UAVs. So you just start seeing these little circles going around the screen, and everything lights up. You're like, oh, this is awesome. Hey, I can shoot missiles! Yay! So now I'm dropping. You see the cruise missile, like the little icon, just go screwing across your map and just go and drop straight down. And usually you get 1 to 2 people per missile, which is kind of fun. But I really haven't found a way to exploit it, like to really rack up some XP. Because I think you need like 58,000 XP to unlock something.
Jeez.
And I'm maybe working at I don't know, maybe 35 to 4,700 clip.
Whew.
Like it's a lot. I mean, at that rate, I'd have to play it 120 times.
Yeah. If my math checks out.
Which, yeah, it's 2, 3, yeah, 3. Yeah, okay, all right, yeah, that's about right. Confirmed. But no, I'm really enjoying it. Like I hate to say it, I am really enjoying playing Battlefield right now. I think
Your
it's
secret
because
is safe with us.
I think I found a weapon I'm comfortable using.
Yeah.
I mean, the weapon doesn't have a ridiculous scope. It's like almost like it's a rifle, like a rifle with a not a full scope, but like a tactical, so like no more than 4 times scope. And the canted sights just make so I have iron sights at the same time, so it makes everything work.
Yeah. It's your multi-utility weapon.
Well, I have that same weapon equipped across all the classes.
Oh, nice.
So I just keep like whatever the next one is. Like, all right, work on it here. Then I get a little extra things, and it carries through on each one. So it's not like you have to do it for each class. Thankfully,
Yeah.
except for their special weapons.
I'm just glad that a
Whatever.
Battlefield game finally clicked with you.
Yeah, I think because it like the levels, like the conquest levels, are so huge.
Yeah.
So huge. And we were with a group of guys last night. All right. So Conquest, each side has 800 tickets. And depending on how fast the tickets count down is how many points you're holding on the actual battlefield. An average game ends maybe under 100 tickets is a really close game between the two sides. Most of them end between 200 and 300. Every game Donnie and I played last night was 7+.
Wow.
Was the side we were on. Like, it was ridiculous. I think the most tickets we had at the end of a match was 764, which means what? We only lost
36?
36 tickets
Jeez.
out of 800.
Wow.
It's pretty okay.
And usually, I don't even know if it sure wasn't us because we were running around like, oh, that's getting attacked. Oh, wait, it's safe. Oh, wait, that's it. We're just going to stand here and hopefully someone walks past us.
Yeah.
Because there was nothing we could do right. And in some of these matches, it's like impossible to crash their spawn point. And somehow they managed to do it in some of the most wide open areas I've ever seen. Like there's a spot where their spawn is actually out in the ocean when we're in the islands, literally haloed around with attack boats. Any plane that took off, dead. Any boat that came out of the aircraft carrier, dead. And we're just sitting there watching it through our scopes. You're like, oh, that sure looks fun. Like,
I'm not going out there.
every once in a while, someone would get free and just run around and clean them up. Like, all right. But, oh, man. All the little gadgets and stuff I'm enjoying. Like, a couple of maps. Like, I just run around with defibrillators. So I just go, hee, dump. Okay, get up. Dump, get up. Like, it's so much, like, I don't know why that's fun for me. Just run around picking dudes up. And it's
Somebody's
a lot like
the
the experience like we had with Mag. Like, that was, like, a very important part in Mag was to have someone, or actually you always had the med kit because that picked dudes up and healed them. Like, it just was the most useful weapon in a game ever because you could be getting rolled and just your misty juice of life just comes out and rise. But it's It's fun. I'm really enjoying Battlefield right now, and I really can't explain it. It's I don't know, because I mean I have more fun playing Titanfall, but this just seems like it's a grind in the right way.
Yeah.
Like
good.
it feels like everything I'm doing, every person I shoot, everything that I complete, every point I capture goes towards something. And getting battle packs is fun. Like I think every even number you upgrade, you get a battle pack. They're either bronze. Bronze has like 4 items in it. Silver's got like 6 or 5, and then the gold ones have like 6. And like everything ranges from random pieces of equipment to XP bonuses. So you can put an XP boost, and you can earn like Duncan the Great told me he just got 200% XP bonus at the end of every round.
Jeez.
Like that's like the most I ever saw was 100%. I was like, I thought that was the cat's bananas, but this was I almost said the cat's bananas.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I mean, cats are notoriously big fans of bananas.
Well,
Peanut
clearly.
butter jelly. Anyway, but yeah, so I'm really enjoying Battlefield, and I can't help it. It's gonna be in my what you've been playing for a while. Not just because
that's good.
not just because it's fun to play with Donnie, but it's awesome to play with Donnie. It is like if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be playing this at all. He's just a riot to play games with. Like I
Nice.
throw up like every time there's a UAV or MAV, which is actually controlled by the character, and you're up there spotting dudes, and he's like, hey Knobs, why don't you put the poison out? I was like, what are you talking about? Oh, your MAV. It's like poison. I was like, oh yeah, because we can see everybody. And it's crazy. Like I'm getting like 19 spot bonus ribbons just from throwing this thing up in the air, and I'm looking at my PDA, just tink, 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 and all of a sudden everybody's lit. It's awesome when you have a group of people that are really good snipers, because there was a point where I was marking a group of dudes, and then they were dead. I would mark a group of dudes, and it was like a course. It was like, all right, enemy mark, boom, and like 5 dudes just hit the ground. I was like, this is almost unfair. Like I almost felt bad and a little guilty about it. It
Oh,
felt
no
like
need
an
for that.
exploit. But you know what I say? Board's board.
Yep.
And the last game I played this week was Portal 2.
Nice.
That Cave Johnson stuff just doesn't last long enough.
Yeah,
It really doesn't.
which is probably good. That probably means it lasts just long enough, because you're not sick of it by the end. You're not like, oh god, he's gonna talk again, and I'm in an elevator. Oh my god.
But everything that man said was entertaining.
It's just his
Like-
delivery is so good.
Yep.
Everything like especially as you can even kind of like through his inflection, you could tell he was getting sicker and sicker. Like when you start off in the 60s,
Yeah.
70s, and 80s,
Yeah.
and it was, oh my gosh, it was so good. It was so much fun. I only found 3 doors that had the little buzzers on them though.
Oh, there's
to
a
get-
bunch, but some of them are hidden in really weird spots that I don't think it's worth going and getting.
Yeah.
But I loved everything about that game, about this game so far. I didn't forget about the potato, but I forgot the way it was just kind of skewered on the top of the portal gun.
Just real haphazardly.
Like it's just like, oh, you're just gonna okay, that works, or you could just stuff me in a boot or whatever. And the lemonade line, I forgot how awesome and how passionate that was.
Yeah.
Especially with GLaDOS getting jacked up too. Like I
Yeah.
loved it. Oh man. But I'm getting through that. I forgot how much fun it was spraying everything with gels.
Yeah, that stuff is so fun.
It's
is.
so satisfying. Like you get like the first time you get the white gel and you're stuck in this room, you're like, oh, how do we get out? And you put your portal down and you just like boom and just like sploosh all over everything. It is awesome.
Yeah.
I need another adjective other than awesome, but that game is awesome. But yeah, so I got through all that stuff, and I'm at my least favorite part is I don't like playing with those portal, or not portal, but the force tube sound things.
Yeah,
Oh,
those
yeah,
are
those are a
okay,
little
but they
rough.
just there's something about the puzzles they're in where it's sort of like I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
They seem to overstay their welcome a little bit.
Yeah,
Like it's too much. Like sometimes they give you too long of a span where you have to figure out as you're going, to the point where you're like, this is just maybe if it was confined a little bit, but they just all of them just seem, the puzzles just seem too long.
it's like in
Yeah.
Portal 1 when they started doing some portals where it's like go quickly or else the turrets are going to kill you. It's like that's not what this game is. Like this game is look at this
Yeah.
room and at your own pace figure out the puzzle. And I don't
Yeah.
you can't put me under some sort of weird time restriction.
It's tough to explain. I mean, I still enjoy it. Like I think in Portal 1 where you have to do the bouncies,
Yeah.
where you go through one portal and shoot back up the other one, and then on the way down you got to hit another portal,
Yeah.
and hopefully you pick the right color because you're really not paying attention at that point. You're more concentrating on aiming, but it just seems like those puzzles overstayed their welcome a
Yeah.
lot in the first game, and this seems to be my version of that in 2.
Yeah.
Even though the dialogue is significantly better in the back half of the game too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So just Wheatley just being bananas.
Yeah.
And Stephen Merchant is just so perfect
That voice
for that.
is just
Phenomenal.
so perfect for that character.
Yeah.
It's every voice in that game is just spot on.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about the Black Mesa stealing all their trade secrets and stuff and bankrupt. I forgot about that line. It's like, those bastards, Black Mesa. Well, whatever. It's why we get you bums to do these tests now.
Yeah.
Yeah, $120 if we let you reassemble us. It's great stuff.
That is.
But I'll probably finish up that. That seems to be my Sunday morning game.
Yeah.
Wake up today with some puzzling, doing
Leisurely
it right.
ride.
That's how I roll.
Yeah.
Puzzling in the mornings. But that's all I really had this week. So kind of in a little bit of a rut.
Yeah, we got a
Nothing
little bit
really
of a dry spell here.
Nothing I'm really
That time of
excited
year,
about.
though.
Yeah. Hannah, what have you been playing and hopefully enjoying this week?
Well, I played a couple things this week. So Mercenary Kings was free on PlayStation Plus this week, so I decided to check that out for a little bit.
Haven't started that yet.
It's pretty cool. It's sort of this hybrid of like side-scrolling shooter mixed with a bit of an RPG, and sort of because you have to like gather, materials and like build your own weapons and stuff, and do missions specifically in big areas.
Listed out the best analogy. Most people are going to say, "Oh, it's like Metal Slug." It really isn't. It's very different.
It's very different.
It's a lot like a combination of Mega Man levels plus Monster Hunter.
Yeah, that's actually a really good comparison.
Yeah.
It's definitely more Mega Man than it is Metal Slug because it's not
like a run
horrifically
and
difficult
gun shooter. It's this.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more.
A little more platformy.
Well,
Yeah.
It's more deliberate. If you compare Metal Slug to Mega Man is always kind of a little bit slower moving. It has a deliberate jump. It has deliberate shots. Where Metal Slug, you're just kind of moving faster than that.
You shoot as much as you can.
Yeah, and
this
like
is what Metal Slug is.
Mercenary Kings, you can't shoot directional. You just shoot up and down or side to side. So, it feels a lot different. It looks a lot like Metal Slug in its animation and its style, but that's about where it ends.
Yeah. The one thing I did like, it has active reload.
It does.
And it's phenomenal. Yeah,
it's really good.
Scrolling game, and it load, and it's like, oh, cool, I can get behind that.
Yeah.
So I did, the first couple missions. Me and a friend of mine played split screen on the PS4,
Oh,
and
cool.
it was cool because Yeah, so it's pretty interesting because I only have one controller, but I have the Vita. So I just did remote play, and he hopped on with the controller, and it works. It works beautifully. I was
Nice.
really surprised at that. I was like, we were just hanging out Saturday night, and I was just like, yeah, let's see how this goes. And it totally worked. It was completely seamless, and it was funny because if you turn the volume up on the Vita, you can tell 100% that like there's no lag between the PS4 and the Vita when you're in the same room.
You know, I feel like
I was super
Oh, you froze.
happy with it.
Oh, there you go.
There we go.
I feel like that was kind of the thing that we had sort of dreamed about when Sony announced this PS4 or PS Vita remote play thing. We're like, oh man, it'd be so cool if two people could sit and you can both have your own screens and all this stuff. And like, it seems like it's really close to that dream of like, yeah, I have my Vita, that dude's got the controller, and whatever, we're just playing.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty fantastic. But I didn't play it as much as I would have liked to. I love how satirical it is, and it's just like, you go to the missions and your dudes don't even ride in the chopper. They hang on to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the only way to roll.
Exactly, it's the only way.
Do they do one arms or two? They're just like the
one.
The other arm has their gun.
Arm. Yes.
Nice. The other arm has their arm.
No.
Yeah. That was awful.
Has their arms.
You know, I do like in Mercenary Kings. I do like that it's all kind of like if the Rambo movies came out every year for about 30 years.
Yeah,
like that's kind of the
awesome
aesthetic they're going for with these big tough dudes and the angry eye patch general that's yelling at you to roll out, and just it's all kind of goofy.
It's all kinds of awesome, and I think the only issue I really had with it up front was that when you get to like your home base area, they introduce you to everyone and everything at once, and it's really overwhelming because you're like, oh, you do what? I don't even know what that is.
I was hoping, so I was one of the Kickstarter backers for that, the PC version. That was a real problem when it was in alpha, and I was hoping that they would fix that, and that's kind of a bummer because you get into the base and you're like, great, now the game starts, and it's like, nope, tutorials, and it's just like, what?
Well, it's not even tutorials. Like, they introduce like the whole crew of people that are like your support.
Yeah.
And then you can dive into missions. The tutorial was actually really short and sweet.
Yeah.
So that was good. But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting game. It's got really, like you said, it's very Metal Slug-esque graphics. And it's like this sort of collecting bits and pieces so you can build weapons and stuff. It's awesome.
Yeah, wait until you run into stuff that is all the way Monster Hunter.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Another game I played, actually I was hanging out with a bunch of people, and buddy John brought over PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale.
Oh.
So we ended up playing, it was about 4 of us playing a game of that, and I didn't expect to like it as much as I did. I sort of went in. Yeah, it's kind of nice. I was just kind of like, it's just Smash Brothers with terrible characters.
It's like, yeah, we'll just play it. If it's
and
bad,
it kind of is.
We did the same thing with Sonic Team Racing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for anyone who hasn't looked into this, it's very, very, very much a Smash Brothers clone.
Yeah.
And that's actually probably a good thing because there aren't enough Smash Brothers clones out there.
That's true.
So, I went in first and I was like, all right, well, I'm going to try some of the characters. I tried Sackboy, who I wasn't terribly fond of. He still controls like he's in it's kind of floaty. He's kind of still in that mode. So I was like, I'm not a fan of this. But then I played Raiden from his Metal Gear Rising form. Oh, dude. So he's so quick and just like it feels like a real like fighting character. And so the other thing I have with this game is it's not it's not like Smash Brothers where you like launch dudes off of the stage. That's not how you get your kills. You get your kills by initiating your super moves. and you build up your super moves by like hitting, like, you know, performing combos and throwing dudes. And it's sort of weird because you have a meter at the bottom and you have 3 levels of super moves. You have like your first level, which is usually like a close range, like ha, gotcha kind of move, executed at just the right time for it to be effective. Your second level super is usually a little bit wider range, or maybe like on like a 10 to 15 second timer where you have sort of a power up. And you can just go around and just destroy dudes. And then there's your level 3, which is almost always completely unstoppable.
Huh.
So like getting to that like level, like you sort of have to watch, like, oh, they're you know, keeping one dude in the corner trying to build up to their level 3 so they can get all of us. Let's go get him off of them, and, you know, make sure they don't build it up. But the super moves are powered by, like, when you throw a guy who has like a level 2 super move, you sort of drain some of that meter, and it like scatters out in orbs on the field, which you can pick up to power your own super moves.
Oh, weird.
So it's sort of like this weird like back and forth balance system. It's like, well, yeah, I want to go for the, you know, the third level, but I can do just as much damage with a second level, so I'll just trigger it now. The worst, though, is those super moves seem really... it seems really easy to interrupt. And you lose all of that meter that you just built up when someone interrupts that. Which is incredibly frustrating. Because you'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna... Oh, come on! Really?
That makes a good game, though. I mean, a lot of that... I mean, interrupt that stuff. Like, I know that's really frustrating in Street Fighter. I think Street Fighter 4 is where you get to the point where you couldn't get an interrupt or even hit your way out of something. Yeah. You just sit there and take it. You know, like, ugh.
Yeah. It's not that bad. Like, there doesn't seem to be any sort of combo where you can just sort of, you know, hold someone down or like basically stun lock them in a corner. There seems to always be like a way out. And it just, we ended up eventually just getting to doing the point where we were doing random, so random character, random world, and some of these characters are ridiculous. Like, they have the kid from Ape Escape.
What?
Such a weird choice.
Yeah, I think that was like sort of like, do we have any more characters? It's like, well, yeah, there was the kid in Ape Escape, but just put him in. Yeah. He's actually pretty good. He's not terrible, but it just doesn't make sense.
Weird.
And you know, you've got some, you know, some of the DLC characters. You got like Zeus from God of War. You've got Isaac Clarke. You've got Cat, Gravity Rush, and there's another dude we couldn't figure out where he was from, and I haven't looked it up yet.
Oh, it's the pit change guy from Gran Turismo.
It should be. That would be fantastic. Just throwing tire irons and tires. Pit guy.
The guy throwing a tire iron. My projector. They have the cross one with a boomerang.
Yeah, you've got like you know, you've got Kratos, you've got Naruto from Heavenly Sword, you've got Drake, Nathan Drake, and like those are like the big name characters, other than like Raiden from Metal Gear Rising, which amazing choice, by the way. He's phenomenal. If I had to compare him to somebody in Smash Brothers, he'd be sort of like Link, but on speed. Yeah, 'cause he's way faster. They've got the new version of Dante from Devil May Cry. He's pretty good too. And just like just this odd eclectic like sort of characters. Like you sort of think like, well, you know, Nintendo sort of grabs characters from other franchises as well, but when they do it, they get like Solid Snake and like Sonic.
Yeah.
When PlayStation does it, they get Kid from Ape Escape
and Isaac Clarke.
Yeah.
I think you brought up a good point about not being enough Smash Brothers clones. Like, I'd imagine that was detrimental to that game until they played it, realized, oh my god, Smash Brothers is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it really is. It's a fun game, and I just wish it was on more systems. You know, I would totally play Smash Brothers on Vita or PlayStation 4. If you remember enjoying Smash Brothers, this is totally a good like fill-in for that. I think it's like $20 on the PlayStation Network store. And I'm thinking about maybe picking it up when I get paid again because it's good stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely had a lot of fun. Definitely a good party game. If you got a bunch of people hanging out, like, hey, let's play some PlayStation All Stars. So I also played a little bit. Actually, I didn't even really play this. I played like the first little bit of Contrast. It was one of the first free games for the PS4, and we sort of passed the controller, sort of going through this one. It's a weird game.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like I don't know if you guys have ever played the Flash game Shift.
No.
Where you it's sort of like you switch between, like, it's literally all black and white levels. It's a platformer. And you can switch whether you're black or white, and it's basically a puzzle platformer. This seems to be sort of a take on that, but instead of like really simple graphics, it's a more stylized look, and the main character can sort of meld into shadows to access areas that would normally be inaccessible. So, like, let's say you've got something that's casting a shadow up to this balcony up here. Normally, you wouldn't be able to get up to that balcony. There's no way without going through the building and finding the stairs and whatever. But this whatever that's in front of this light over here happens to be casting a shadow that builds a ramp straight up to it. So you just meld into the shadows and boom, climb right up. And it's sort of this weird, like, film noir story. It's very much like a husband and wife who both work in entertainment. The husband's trying this get rich quick scheme. He's in with some shady fellas, and it's really it's sort of a cool story. The gameplay is a little the platforming can be a little rough, and it's sort of difficult to tell where you have to be. There's no really good indication of, like, oh yeah, you need to go over there. It'll give you like an on-screen snippet of text that says find this thing. And that's all the direction
Good
it
luck.
gives you. Yeah. And it's usually fairly obvious, but sometimes you have to wander around like an idiot for like 5 minutes before you go, oh yeah, of course it's over there.
Yeah.
But the really cool part is when it comes to interacting with, so you can move like physical objects around so that they cast shadows in a particular way. So that you can climb up to an area that you couldn't access before. So it's really like this interesting, like, puzzle platformer with like a 1920s kind of like film noir story. And if you picked it up free on PSN when it came out, or PlayStation Plus when it came out, I definitely recommend giving it a play. You got about a couple hours into it. It's pretty interesting, to say the least. I don't know how much fun I had playing it, at first, but it, like, sort of eventually, like, oh, I want to see, what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So it's got the story's a nice carrot on a stick. It kind of keeps the mystery going about, like, what is happening in this world. But the last game I played this week was a whole bunch, probably not as much as you, Boston, but a whole bunch of Final Fantasy. I'm about 13 hours in now, and I really don't like Tidus already, so that's fun.
Yeah, that's not going to get better.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to.
I never played the game, and I don't like the guy.
Yeah, it's
You're fully justified.
I'm 55, 60 hours into it now, and I'm doing all the endgame stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't like the story. I don't like the characters. I don't like the villains. I don't really like... There's one or two characters I like. I like Lulu and I like Riku. I think both of them are cool characters. But man, the only thing keeping me there for the majority of the time is the battle system and the sphere grid.
Yeah. Every time I get some sphere level, I'm like, ooh, I get to play around in there again. All right.
Yeah.
It's just a ton of fun to get in there and be like, okay, which direction do I want to take this character? And you actually literally have to pick a direction sometimes, like up, down, left, right.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely having fun with the battle system. That the fact that you can just, this character, I need to have, I need fire magic right now to take down this enemy. All right, Lulu, get in there.
Yeah.
Have fun. I need Waka to come in and take care of this flying enemy. Cool. And you just swap in, swap out. I love that. it really makes the battles a lot more dynamic and or a lot more interesting, because you may end up in a situation where you're like, oh, okay, I need to swap out. What I do is I keep like the core team of whoever I need to do damage, and then whoever's like my sort of like C player,
Your
I'll swap
utility
them out
groups.
with Yuna. Yeah, I'll swap them out with like Yuna to do some healing, and then swap her back out because her HP is terrible, and if she gets hit 3 times, she's gone.
Yeah.
And then I'll swap in like I can't remember what's the Ronso's name, Kimara.
Kamari. The,
Kimari.
The guy
yeah.
you never use.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's interesting. He's like jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm sure as he's sort of the blue mage of the group, and as I enhance his skills, I'm sure I'll use him a little more. But all those skills are overdrive skills.
Yep. That's
So
what
you
makes
have
him
to-
useless. Is there's no.
Yeah,
You only use him once every couple of hours.
yeah. I'm really liking using the Aeons to fight. I just did the boss fight where you get to the first travel agency,
Oh yeah.
where you get the Chocobo Eater or whatever it is. And I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna throw down some Aeons so that I don't die immediately here, because I saw the amount of HP he had, and I was like, oh, I can't do that much damage right now.
Yeah.
So I threw down Ifrit, and that went fairly well. I got a couple overdrives out of him, and that did some significant damage. And then I threw down the first one you get. I can't remember the name right now.
Valefor.
Valefor. There it is. And that was great because he couldn't hit me. But even hit me upped my overdrive meter. So I got like 3 or 4 overdrives out of that character. And it was like fight over. I think by the time my normal party came back in, he had less than 100 HP.
What, did you actually beat him?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not. So fun thing is you're not supposed to. You're supposed to get pushed off the cliff by the boss and go down to this bottom area.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah, you actually get a couple key spheres, if I remember correctly, for beating him, which you'll need. So.
Oh, yay. All right. That's fantastic. No, because I was just like, I'm not getting
Oh,
pushed off.
damn
this
you for
cliff.
playing the game right.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. But apparently, I got a pretty significant XP boost. So like, I got a bunch of characters and moved some spheres
Yeah,
around,
you
which was
get
nice.
a really nice boost, and key spheres are very rare until very late in the game, so
Yeah.
you'll have an easier time moving around the sphere grid.
Yeah. So my question is, with the sphere grid, so is there like a limit on how much you can do in there? Like, can I eventually like just grind and get back to some of the stuff that I might have to unlock later?
Are you playing standard or expert?
The standard.
Yeah, you can fill up the entire sphere grid for each character.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
you'll probably get to the end of Kamari's sphere grid first, because he only has like
Okay.
2 little sections, and I think there's a key sphere blocking that gets you into Tidus's area, and then at that
Okay.
point, as soon as you finish up one character's kind of traditional sphere grid path, they'll usually end up into another person's sphere grid.
Yeah.
Or you can, at that point, you'll probably have teleport spheres, so you can just kind of hop to the beginning of another person's grid and then just kind of move on from there.
All right, that's good to know. I don't want to waste moves moving backwards. That if I can just teleport.
No, there are a bunch of spheres that are a little bit rare at the end of the game, but they'll allow you to move around, and the sphere grid is so easy to farm at a certain point. Once you start doing some of that stuff, you'll probably see at the very end of a game, using a monster arena technique, you can get, within a minute or two, you can get 99 sphere levels for each character.
Ooh.
So it's
Nice.
It's really trivial. Nice thing about the sphere grid is you can't really do anything wrong with the standard grid. It just
That's sort of what I feel like right
Yeah.
now, and it makes me feel more comfortable about the game. Like I don't have to worry about like, oh, I'm doing it wrong.
yeah, no,
Like there
you're
doesn't seem to be a wrong way to do it.
right.
Which is there's sort of I don't know, there's some JRPGs out there where I feel like specifically some of the I think it was Digital Devil Saga and like Nocturne, like if you're leveling up incorrectly, you're screwing yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
Last
like that's
Remnant.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
and
a
just
much different game in its own
and
weird way.
that's just sort of a horrible feeling when you like sort of like, well, I want to try something different, but I know if I do, I'm going to die constantly.
Yeah.
And that doesn't seem to, and like as far as battles, Final Fantasy X doesn't seem overly difficult.
No.
Especially once I learned Flee and I saw like I waltzed into a fight with like it was I can't remember, it was like a dual horn and two bombs, and I was just like, I'm not doing that right now. I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
I don't have enough HP to let me get out of this, heal up, and then maybe I'll try that one again. But I'm having a ton of fun with it. Just it's really nice to have it on the Vita to just pick up and go, all right, let's do a couple battles. Let's get through a couple of these dumb scenes.
Yeah.
I wish I could skip some of these because it's like, oh, okay, this is story.
This is painfully horrible.
Yeah, it really, and like, just don't play this game for the story.
No.
At all.
I know it really resonates with some people, but to me, I just find it, whether it's the translation or the voice acting or just, I don't even know what. The story itself is fairly interesting, but I feel like there's something lost in either the text or the voice acting for some of the characters. It's just, it's not great.
Yeah. I'm sort of okay.
Shallow and pedantic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it really sort of feels like they're going for like some big high philosophical thing and like missing by miles.
Well, and I think if you name your villain Sin, your villains are Sin and Seymour. You kind of finished that book before you started writing it.
Is Sin the giant whale thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
I watched you play this game way too much.
It's just such a bad name. It's such a bad name for a character that looks legitimately pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm looking forward to getting further into the Sphere Grid, and I'm sort of, and I know this is probably terrible. Like the more you talk about Final Fantasy X too, the more I want to be like, well, I want to finish 10 so that I can play 10.
Yeah.
Too, because that actually sounds just sort of what I want out of this game now, and not like unintentionally dumb.
Yeah, have you ever played 10-2?
I have not.
So, a lot of people get turned off at 10-2 in like the first 5 minutes without.
Oh yeah, because I've seen the opening cinematic.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
For anybody that hasn't played 10-2, the thing they tell you literally 30 seconds after that is that's not Yuna. So, stop freaking out. But I feel like 10-2 has one of the best battle systems in the whole Final Fantasy series. It's so fast paced. Switching, instead of switching characters, you only have the 3 characters, but you switch jobs on the fly.
Yeah,
and it's so rewarding and it's fantastic.
That sounds like tons of fun, but I'd feel weird playing it without playing 10 because I've heard it's very in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Or have I heard wrong?
Yeah, you have to. 10-2 picks up, I think, a year after 10, and if you don't know what happened in 10, you're going to be incredibly lost in 10-2.
Good to know. All right, so sort of pay attention to the story.
You already know where the story's going, so you don't have to pay that close attention.
All right, that's good.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much the last game I played this week.
And all I played was Final Fantasy X. I'm just doing some of the incredibly dumb endgame stuff that
Sweet.
makes me want to snap my controller and my TV in half. Trying to go for that platinum, of which I am about halfway there.
Nice.
I have all of the Aeons now, and I'm going back and doing some stuff like the terrible second Chocobo race in Remium Temple. Doing the Monster Arena stuff. I'm at the very, very end of the game, so I could just go finish it, but I'm getting all the Celestial Weapons, all that stuff, trying to get as many of those trophies as I can. I was originally thinking that I'd go and I'd get the Platinum, but honestly, I don't want to fill up the Sphere Grid for every single character. I just don't. I am so under-leveled at the end of the game because I fleed from so many battles, and I moved through the game a little bit faster than you should. That I'm just sort of, I have to do enough work to get myself to the point where I can actually go farm some of that stuff. So I don't know if I'm actually going to do it. I might just finish it and then move on to 10-2 and then kind of play whatever else I have in my giant pile of shame.
Yeah.
But that's all I got, so let's take our first break.
Sounds good. Let me go grab a drink.
Was he choppy for you too, or?
Yeah, he's probably running something. I was gonna ask him what was going on, and then he escaped.
Is my video choppy?
No, yours is fine. It was bad quality originally, but it sorted itself out, which could have been on my end.
All right. So house got oh my fuck. Alright, house hunt's going alright?
Yeah, we put an offer, it was accepted, we're in escrow now.
No shit.
Yeah, we're doing house inspections tomorrow. So fingers crossed.
Nice.
So only 30-day
That-
escrow.
that's-
So
That's funny because now I have your address and it's not even gonna be the right one.
unfortunately not. Curses.
I'm gonna send Keith a message to send that thing to me so I can send it to you.
Okay.
Because I figured you wouldn't want that. I've already jumped off that bridge. No reason for both of us to.
Yeah, I'll have you be our Postmaster General for the show.
Well, yeah, since I've had the same address for 30 years, so.
Yeah. Oh man. I just want to finish this episode so I can go and play Fez.
What else is going on with I mean, what's the house like? I mean, you excited or
Yeah, it's
does it just seem overwhelming?
we're kind of at that point where it's sort of like, oh god. It's nice. It's in a nice neighborhood. It's 2 stories, 4 beds, 3 baths. Attached
It's a
garage.
big house.
Yeah, it's 2,100 square feet, something like that. 2,000, 2,100.
Nice.
Which is triple the size of the house we're living in right now.
You'll be surprised. You'll fill it.
Yeah, it'll take us a while, but we'll get there. Yeah, just kind of pumped to get out of this house, primarily. So, but I'm trying to, since we haven't gone through the home inspection and we haven't done the reappraisal stuff yet. I haven't really gotten my hopes up too much. We're planning and whatnot, but there's still the slim chance that the house isn't ours.
Prepare for the worst, hope for the best.
Yeah, exactly. And then we get to do all the fun house stuff of like buying appliances and fixing the windows.
Wait, does it have appliances?
There are, but they're not. You don't want those.
Oh.
It was flipped by a flipping company, so
Oh, so it's yeah, okay. They're there.
Yeah, it's a
fully
fridge.
furnished.
Yeah.
Yeah. It keeps things cold.
Yeah.
Like,
You're not even chilling anything
it's
there.
never good if your realtor sitting there with air quotes the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know if it all goes well, we'll
Well, technically, there's a sauna.
yeah, just a hole in the backyard with water in it.
Oh man, I remember I almost bought that one house out in Lorraine. It had a dumbwaiter.
Oh man, how could you pass on that? You got this house.
Well, it was a tumultuous time in my life.
Yeah.
But no, it was the house was laid out. I mean, honestly, it was a swingers pad from the 70s.
Oh man.
Like it was a ranch, like all the way across, and it mirrored itself on the lower level. It had a walkout patio on the bottom. It had the oldest in-ground pool I have ever seen in my life. It would take more to rip it out than it would to fix it.
Wow.
Type of money. the one wing of the house, like the basement wall, was caving in.
Oh, jeez.
So I mean, it was. I mean, the price was cheap for. I think it was just the first floor was 2,800 square feet, 7 baths or seven rooms, 4 baths,
Wow.
not counting downstairs at all.
Jeez.
So pretty much it was almost a 5,000 square foot house.
Yeah.
It was going for like $125.
Be like a dream.
But you're probably throwing 60 grand in it right off the top.
Yeah, just to get.
That's a lot of money. What?
Yeah. Hannah, your video was halting and cutting out a lot in the second half. Do you have anything running?
He's playing Galaga. We all saw him.
Let me. I really just gotta audit how many devices are connected to my stuff. Let me shut a few things down here.
My internet isn't running very well in the last couple days anyway, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna blame the entire internet. So stop watching Twitch Plays Pokemon.
I
everyone.
concur.
I'm
That
down
sounds
with
like
that.
a plan.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, I bet I know what it is. Let me shut down Plex.
Ah,
I think I left something on pause last night.
that'll do it. I'm just transcoding. That's what you wanted, right? No.
Yeah, right. No, we picked up American Horror Story. We watched the first 2 seasons,
Nice.
and we just started the 3rd. I'm surprised at how much I like it, actually. The first season was really disjointed and just sort of like, oh, hey, look,
Monster
it's
of the Week
ghosts.
stuff.
Not really. Like it was all like connected, but it didn't like they didn't do a great job of connecting it.
Oh yeah.
And the second season did a much better job of that. Like it's not as good in comparison. Like it's
Yeah.
still good. And I like that they do like the ensemble cast playing different like parts, and each season's just sort of its own thing. It's an interesting show, and if you don't mind a little bit of like the second season's super like spooky and I'm not like a horror guy normally, but I was able to get through like the second season okay, and like the first season was like nothing.
Yeah.
And this third season seems much more like nothing again, but the second season got super dark and like super scary. And there was a couple times where I was like, no, I'm kind of not. I'm gonna go get a drink. I'm gonna skip this scene. Just fill me in on what happened. But yeah, I'm a bit of a pansy when it comes to horror stuff. So
Yeah, I am too. I don't watch it because I'm just like, no, it's in the house with me.
May I make a recommendation for everyone to find a movie and watch it?
Sure.
Sure.
You gotta watch The Raid. It's called The
yeah,
Raid Redemption.
I have that. I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, I did the same thing. I bought it. It sat around for a week or two. I finally sat around and watched it. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I gotta find the second one. I gotta go play it. I gotta watch the second one now.
So is my video doing any better at all?
Yeah, it looks fine now.
Okay, good. Yeah,
And
I think it
Captain
was probably
America 2.
Plex.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, my little brother went and saw that. He was like, "Oh, it's so good." And I'm like, "All right, cool. I gotta see that."
really
And I saw a
good. Not
bunch of
just that-
people saying
not
good
that
stuff
it's-
about it.
Not that it's just a good Marvel movie. It's a solid movie from top to bottom.
Yeah, I'm
Nice.
excited to see that.
Well, and like now I have to see it because apparently it affects the entirety of the Shield show. So now I can't watch Shield until I see it.
Well,
They're all tied
You're-
together nowadays. Just see them all.
but
That's a clever
you
tactic.
can see
though.
something heavy was happening. There's crazy rumors going around about the fallout of what's going on in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.,
Huh.
Yeah.
especially who the clairvoyant is.
I gotta start watching that show.
That's interesting. It got really good the second half of this season. Like the first half
Yes.
was super like, okay, I get it. They're world building. They don't need to. Can we just fast forward a little bit? Come on.
Yeah.
Firefly
No,
got more done in half a season than this did.
Yeah.
Well, I think because the problem with the comparison's apt. I mean, Firefly hustled, but the problem with Firefly's cast was significantly more likable than this cast.
Oh yeah. There's a couple likable characters at first, and then I don't know. There's a couple characters that feel like, hey, you like this guy, right? And it's like,
Not
do
really.
I?
Do I have to?
Yeah. Am I?
Well, I mean,
supposed to?
I think that's the problem. I mean, the two kids that are working in the science part, they're awesome.
Oh yeah, they're
May,
fantastic.
I'm kind of torn about. I don't
Yeah.
like Sky. I don't like whatever the other agent dude is.
I don't even know his name.
See, that's the thing. And I mean, honestly, if Coulson wasn't the main focus of that show, I wouldn't watch it.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
I
yeah.
think his delivery is amazing.
Yeah, he carried that show through the first half
Do you-
of the season.
Do you know he was in The Usual Suspects?
No
Yeah.
kidding.
So was Gus Fring from Breaking Bad.
Huh. Everybody's in there.
Nice.
I was like, I'm watching this movie. I was like, oh my god, I forgot how young Benicio del Toro was in that movie too.
He's like
Yeah.
10.
Yeah.
All right. Before I get too sidetracked,
Yeah,
with
let's,
me-
Yeah, right.
Let's kick
Let's,
this thing.
Oh god.
Ooh,
Need to open
that's
show
my,
notes.
my latest from my favorite sellers on eBay. When was the last time you bought anything from eBay?
Like 6 months ago, I bought some Genesis games. Maybe that was a year ago. I don't know.
Trying to remember.
can't- I couldn't tell you.
Oh no! I bought about a year ago. I bought a Torx screwdriver to open up my 360 controller.
Ah,
It was like $1. I was like, all right, I'll take that.
can't pass on that.
I
Yeah.
probably haven't used eBay since 2005.
Yeah.
All right.
I think when I bought my Saturn was my last purchase. No, my 3DX. No, the Sega 32X. No, what was that thing called? The CD player thing, the Genesis, and
CDX.
the CDX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it CDX? No, the CDI was the Philips thing.
Yeah, and the Sega
Yeah.
CD was the one on the bottom.
Yeah.
Yes. And the
Okay.
32X was the Kgush thing.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
head of the Transformer.
Right. Now form the head. It's the Black Lion.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway,
All right, let's just do this thing.
Yes.
come on, that was great. All right. Hey, stop it.
Calm down, dogs.
Sit. Good boy. No, don't get up here.
Hey guys.
All right. All right, ready in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. We got releases this week for the week of April 7th, 2014. Titanfall makes its debut on the 360s.
Probably
Maybe.
pushed back a week or two, so maybe check for it in your stores, I guess.
Yeah.
Titanfall. Call me, maybe. All right. Shin Megami Tensei Persona 4 is out on the PlayStation 2 Classics.
You should probably go get that. It's pretty good.
Yeah. It's.
Yeah, I hear good things.
Yeah.
Connect Sports Rivals for the XBO.
That's another one of those.
Yeah.
There
that's
you
a
go.
thing that's happening. All right.
Rivals. Set, serve.
Ooh.
Boom. Lego The Hobbit for everything.
Yeah,
Is it-
sounds about right.
Is that one just The Hobbit?
Yeah, it's just I think it's the Hobbit and the Desolation of Smog. I think it's the two movies.
Why wouldn't they just spoil the whole thing?
Well, they gotta sell another game.
Guess what? Bilbo makes it back. Oh.
Ta-da! I will have to buy that eventually because I have a problem with the Lego games. So look for
Wait for
my
the trilogy.
review when it's $30, not when it's $60 on PS4. Because I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a little
Yeah.
silly.
Yeah,
That's why I haven't bought the Lego Marvels Heroes thing.
that game. Oh man,
It's-
that's so good.
Yeah.
I know, but I don't feel like paying $60 for it.
Now,
Just
I think
same
40
here.
is. I spent 40 hours getting the platinum on that, and $40 is probably about the sweet spot for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the U.S. release for the week of April 7th, 2004, Rumble Roses for the PlayStation 2.
What a weird game.
I almost didn't make it through it.
I just remember when that game came out, everyone's like, "Why?" Even in
Yeah,
2004, they were just like, "Why are you doing this to us?"
Who put that
like-
out?
I think it was
Tao
Tecmo.
Fang. Yeah, that's definitely a Tecmo joint.
Tecmo or Koei, one of the two before they merged a couple
Yeah.
years ago.
I remember one of the guys I worked with at Game Crazy was super pumped when the sequel came out. Because I don't know.
What was it doing it for you, dude? It's so
Yeah, that
weird.
was-
What was... Pause, what was that one game that we played where the guys were BMX riders that turned into beasts? What was the
Bloody
name of
Roar.
Bloody Roar.
I was trying to find a copy of Bloody Roar 2 or 3 the other day on eBay, speaking of eBay, and they're like $70. I was like, that's a pretty good joke that I want to patch up in my collection. Not for that much, though. There were 4 of those games, by the way. 4 Bloody Roar games.
You got to go garage sailing for that one.
I really do.
Yeah, that was put out by Konami, by the way.
Konami, that's right.
That's weird.
They put out 2 of those, I think.
It all makes sense.
Man,
yep, they certainly did.
One Rumble Roses came out on 360, I think, the second one.
It did.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up.
It's just, that's so weird.
Oh. And NBA Ballers came out for the PlayStation 2 and Xbox.
I think that one wasn't good. I think the NBA Street were the good ones, right?
Yeah.
NBA Street was the fun ones, but Ballers had that one, that commercial with that guy that had that weird head move. It drove me insane. Like, he was dribbling a ball, and it was just like...
Waggle, waggle, waggle.
Wiggle, 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 wiggle.
Yeah, but just 2 really weird games. All right, let's move on to news stories. April Fool's happened here in the U.S. A lot less funny stuff this year, and a lot of really poorly done stuff, like the Nestor thing that someone put out, where if you're going to make an April Fool's joke, get someone who's good at 3D modeling. Sega put out their joke Rappy Bird, which was, of course, the one of the 2 requisite Flappy Bird clones. This one was a Rappy from PSO in the Sega Sonic landscape. So
nice.
You got it. You Green Hill Zone. You got me every time. I'll take it. Happy Reaper was Blizzard's one, where it's basically the same thing, but with Reaper and a bunch of Diablo 3 characters. So that you can play that if you really need to. Blizzard's for real one this time is Blizzard Outcasts. Pretty much a fighting game with this incredibly crazy controller that has a credit card slot on it.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That was good.
Yeah. So there's and the one screenshot here says swipe credit card for health as your character's health is down. So
yeah. The other cool thing Blizzard did, and if you've ever played World of Warcraft at all, just go read the April Fool's patch notes because they're always hilarious.
Oh, I forgot about those. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were really good.
Great. Yeah.
Square Enix did a mashup of Thief and Final Fantasy 1. There's this really, really good screenshot they released, which was the Final Fantasy 1 cast with Garrett is the Thief class, and everyone else has thousands of hit points, and he has 18 of 30, and they're standing in front of a house in the Thief world. So
nice.
That was pretty good. And Google, getting probably the best one this year, comes out with their Pokemon Challenge in search for the Pokemon Master position at Google, where they sneaked out a stealth update to Google Maps that you could see Pokemon in your area and go somewhere and capture them using the Google Maps application. That was a pretty good joke that I think was made a lot better by the fact that everyone had it, and it wasn't just screenshots on a web page. It was go to your phone and open up Google Maps and look, Charizard is there.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty good, but a lot of them this year, not great.
Yeah. I mean, Blizzard nailed it as usual, because they always do. But I don't think we'll ever see one as good as, I can't remember what year it was. I think it was like IGN had that trailer for the Legend of Zelda movie.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was pretty good.
Well, that one had everyone fooled.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't see a lot of sites like that do very many April Fool's jokes this year. It seemed to be primarily publishers and developers doing that stuff.
I think my favorite thing about this year's April Fool's, though, I don't know if you guys saw like Samsung and HTC. Both announced a fake wearable computing device that was a glove. And then a couple hours later, Razer did the same thing.
Nice.
Oh.
It was pretty phenomenal.
All right, well, let's scoot on here to real news. And Phil Spencer is the new head of Xbox. He was the head of Microsoft Studios, which is the rebranded Microsoft Game Studios, probably so people will stop asking, "Oh, Metal Gear Solid?" No, Microsoft Game Studios. So Mark Whitten left a couple months ago to work at Sonos for some reason. And now Phil Spencer, who's been with Microsoft for quite a while and is a familiar face at the E3 conferences, now leads all of the development teams for Xbox, which is music, video, and Xbox Live, in addition to Microsoft Studios. So when they say he's head of Xbox, he's kind of head of the whole kind of kit and caboodle. And as soon as they announced him stepping up, they came out really quickly, and he had a bunch of really great interviews where he was saying, like, hey, with me in charge, it's all about games again. We're a game company on a game console. Yep. Let's talk about some games. So I think that's kind of the shot to the arm that the Xbox One really needs, because it's selling well. The Xbox One and the PS4, if I remember correctly from something I read a couple weeks ago, almost have sales parity in the U.S.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, but there's not, and I'm sure Titanfall helped that quite a bit, but it's the opposite of the perception from the Xbox 360 and PS3 of, Xbox One's got no games. So hopefully between him stepping up and them showing who knows what at E3 in 2 months, will kind of revitalize. Wow. Yeah, tell me about it. They'll hopefully revitalize sort of the Xbox One's the general populace's opinion of it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's something, I think that's a culture that needs to change around it, is if the games are good, the money will come.
Yeah.
Like, that's where it all boils down to.
Yeah.
Like, you put out your best stuff, and then, believe me, people will find it.
Yeah, because you'll get money from some people that are just early adopters and they're just getting the console. You're not going to get a ton of money from people that are buying it because they want to watch Netflix on their TV. They probably have a smart TV. It's that marketplace has changed, or they have a Chromecast or something. There's something.
Or they have a new DVD player. Everything has Netflix on.
Something that costs $50 as opposed to $500. The value proposition for non-gamers at the beginning aren't there, but it's still not. I know in the gaming, in gaming, one person has to win, and everybody else is in risk of closing down because they're not in first place. But, realistically, that's not the problem. It's that Microsoft isn't in first place, but they're still doing okay, and they can do better. So, hopefully they'll get there.
Yeah, for sure.
And the last news story here, the thing that we've been talking about for seemingly about the 7 years that this show's been going on, Amazon finally announces the Fire TV. So this is finally the worst kept secret, them announcing this set-top box. $99 for their streaming box. It streams the normal stuff. If you've seen a Chromecast or Apple TV or Roku or whatever, you're going to stream your Hulu, Netflix, blah, 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 all this. And, of course, Amazon Video. It has integration with smart...
That would be hilarious if it didn't include Amazon Video.
Yeah, but that would be coming later.
That'll be patched in.
Yeah, well, that's version 2. So all that stuff is fairly standard, but the interesting thing is they're also focusing on games with it. It comes with the controller. No, $40 for the controller, which looks like the Wii U Pro controller. And the people that have gotten their hands on it say it's okay. I mean, it's certainly not the worst controller, but it's not as solid as you would want. Buying the controller gets you $10 in credit and a copy of Civ Zero, which is kind of their lead game on the platform. Of course, Double Helix is doing stuff since they bought it, but EA, Disney, Ubisoft, 2K Games, Sega, Double Fine, all of them are working on it. They already showed Minecraft, Walking Dead, NBA 2K14.
Let the ports begin.
Yeah, like a whole bunch of stuff, and it's shipping right now. So
wow,
go out. They announced it, and you could buy it that day, and it would ship that day. So
that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and they also said that Kim Swift, the designer for Portal and Portal 2, and then Clint Hawking, the guy who designed Far Cry 2, are both hired by Amazon Game Studios now. So
cool.
Kind of have a lot of really talented people there that will hopefully make a lot of really good games. And the thing is, I would like this to be successful, but I think first I would like it to not be the Ouya. Like, not being mean to the Ouya, but it kind of never got where you wanted it to go. And I feel like with Amazon behind it, sure, maybe they'll sneak more games in the living room saying like, yeah, you can watch Netflix and all your Amazon, whatever, it's only $100 and apps and stuff. And then for $40 you get a free game and a controller, and NBA 2K14 is going to be on there. Like that's a title that the majority of people that play sports games would probably want.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that sounds kind of promising, and for $100, come on.
That'll take the teeth out of a lot of casual people that just buy consoles for their sports games.
Yeah, their standard fix, whatever that is.
Like they'll say, "What? I pay $100, I get the same thing."
Yeah, I can get 2K14 for like $140 total, and
or Madden every year.
Yeah.
Look at your price of investment on that.
Yeah, if you bring out something like Madden or something big, like imagine if GTA 5 came out there. I mean, you'd sell multi-millions of copies, because it's like, okay, I could spend $200 on a 360 and then $60 on this game, or $100 and it does all this other cool stuff. All right.
Yeah.
So, very interesting.
$50 subscription fee.
That has a potential to make some big waves.
Yeah, totally. All right, let's move on to tweets here.
Whoa. Hold on. Try doing it.
Did you knock over a bag of Funyuns?
My Slurm can fell over.
Just getting so excited. Oh my god, tweets.
I got too excited.
Oh boy. All right, so we've got 2 weeks worth of tweets and emails here to catch up on. So Oddball writes in, "Hey guys, choose a location for a blue and orange portal. Thanks for your great podcast." I would have to say one would go in my house and one would go to work, because I hate commuting. I hate driving. I don't want to do any more of it.
Yeah.
But then it would be, oh, why can't you come in? You just go through the portal. Just go.
Yeah.
You just have a portal in your office. It's like, well, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, see, that's risky, because it goes both ways. Like, someone could just walk into your house.
Yeah, just be like, hey, you're late for work. See ya.
Yeah.
Or like you email in and you're like, oh, I'm totally sick, and they come in and you're sitting there playing Rock Band with your friends, and it's like, oh, hey, this doctor's orders.
Carry in you have a big cardboard door you just put over top of it, make sure no one knows it's there.
There you go.
Oh man, I would probably say mine would probably be here to somewhere peaceful,
like a quiet field.
Yeah, like, all right, I've had enough. I'm out.
I'm going through the portal.
Hang a do not disturb sign with one little nail and just hanging there over the portal.
Yeah,
I think that would be ideal for me. Just somewhere to get away.
That's not a bad one. I actually have two. I would either do from here to probably Killarney, in Ireland because there were so many great pubs and cool things there that I would just love to just pop in for like a day and just be like, oh, cool, I'm
Get
gonna go
drunk
have
and
a
portal home.
yeah. That would be nice. That'd be very nice. Or and this is gonna sound like the laziest thing ever, but like one from
Go to the bathroom.
here in my office to downstairs.
I thought you were gonna say like here to Five Guys. Just like no.
No,
Oh,
like
yeah, one
here
a
to, like,
separate
next
portal
to
from
my
here to
couch
Chipotle.
downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my other one would probably be all three of us would have a portal to some sort of recording studio, so we could record in together again.
that would
We
be
need
cool.
to have it. We need to have it in the middle of the country, in like the middle of nowhere,
like,
that
Iowa?
only the portals get to. yeah.
Yeah.
Like Iowa, or someone flat state, and there's one freestanding structure that's got like antennas and stuff all out over it.
Yep.
We'll call it oh, what's it called? We'll call it Orange Mesa.
Orange Mesa.
E1M1 Mesa.
That's right.
Or anywhere that has Google Fiber.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
We'll
Just
catch
run
that
some
fast
cable
pipe.
through the portal.
Yeah. Well, that'll be one other portal. We have to find someone from Google. It's just like, okay, the fiber needs to go through the portal, and then that goes right into our offices, and then just hook it up wherever.
Yeah.
You know, after playing Portal so much, that is the one thing that I want more than anything in the world, is a portal gun.
Yeah, don't give me flying cars. I don't care. I can portal somewhere.
Yep. That would be
My
awesome.
cosmic
But yeah,
tunneling device.
Yeah.
just having one from up here to my downstairs so I can just bypass my stairs. I would love that. Because it's the worst when I get downstairs, I'm like, yeah, I'm all comfortable. I forgot something.
All
You
the
have to
way
get up.
upstairs.
All the way upstairs. And it sounds terrible, but when you have a terrible memory like me, it happens every day.
Yeah.
Now we just got to get some moon rocks and make a buttload of potable surfaces.
Yep.
Yep.
I like it. Millennial Buddha writes in, and I'm gonna clarify his question here. It says, "What critically acclaimed games do you hate and why?" We've covered this a lot in the past, the Halos and the GTA 4s and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Can we think of anything that either we haven't talked about or like classic games? Everybody's like, "Oh man, this game is so great! Oh, I can't believe you don't love blah."
Yeah.
Trying to think.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I'll throw Soul Reaver out there.
See, I've never played them.
Yeah, I've
Never
played it.
really. I've tried to play it on multiple occasions, and I'm just like, really? This is kind of boring.
I'm actually
I mean-
I'm gonna go with a really controversial one that we were talking about at work the other day. The
Yeah.
first StarCraft. I just don't like
Okay.
it.
Yes.
I know
Well,
it's
StarCraft 2. I didn't like StarCraft, or not StarCraft 2. Are you talking about, wait, StarCraft or Warcraft?
the original StarCraft. StarCraft 1.
Really?
Yeah, I just never really liked it. It's fine, but I would rather go play Warcraft 2.
You see, I didn't like Warcraft 2 as much as I like StarCraft. Even though I don't think I still haven't finished StarCraft.
None of the
Like,
StarCraft
I get to the
games.
part with the Protoss, I can't beat it.
Weird.
Like, the last 2 missions, I can't beat.
Yeah, that game never
pretty
clicked with
crazy.
me, and a lot of people are always like, "Really?" It's like, yeah, it's fine. I don't. It's just okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I don't know. There's not a whole lot of games that I can say that I like flat out hate, and like even if I do, it's probably because I'm just bad at it,
Yeah.
and I'm spiteful.
I don't know. I feel like there's every once in a while there's those games where it's just like, like where we ran into with GTA 4. Not like we're gonna talk about that, but the same thing where everyone is just sort of like, yeah, man, it's my game of the year. It's the best game. How can you pass it up?
Yeah.
It's just like I don't think I'm playing the same game as you are.
Street
Yeah.
Fighter 4.
Oh yeah, that for us was sort of like everyone's like, yeah, it's the best fighting game ever, and I was like, I mean, it's good,
Yeah.
but I'll go back to playing BlazBlue. That's more my style.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't hate it. It's just sort of like it's not my type of game.
Which is totally
I don't-
understandable.
I don't hate it. I think a lot of the people I play with are just too good at it. that it
Yeah.
just sucked the fun out of it.
That's the real problem with some fighting games too, is that unless you and your collection of friends get in on the ground level, or it's a game that everyone's been playing forever, then
Yeah, I'd imagine people would be that way if they played with us when we were doing DOA 4 or 5.
yeah, exactly.
Like especially like when I'm playing 700, those matches, if anybody else was fighting, would be unfair.
Yeah.
Not to say we're awesome, but we're awesome.
Trying to think of something else. I always feel like there's a bunch of these games. I'm trying to look at what games I have here in my collection. I don't think,
same here.
I don't think Knack really counts because no one really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Infamous.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
I've tried to play it 3 times. I just cannot get into
Just
that
never
game.
clicks with you.
I just think it's the way the character model looks. Like
Yeah.
it just moves odd to me, and it rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah, those games do have such a weird, like, the movement for the main characters is just sort of, it's a little bit worse than that. And I love all 3 of those games, but there's always been that problem with the Assassin's Creed games where you'll jump and it's just like you couldn't have jumped that far. That's not how far humans can jump. But with Infamous, it's just sort of like, how do you move like that? What do you have bones? I don't understand.
Actually, I just think it's the way the arms and legs look. I don't know if it's the hipster skinny jeans or
Like some proportion
just
problem.
Yeah, like it's mostly the main problem I had with Man on the PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
The character models just didn't look right to me.
Yeah, as a fan of Infamous, that stuff is a little weird. The proportions are off, I think. It's just the head's too big or something.
Yeah. I could say probably the most not the most recent Prince of Persia, but the 360 one that came out.
Oh yeah.
Prince of Persia,
the 2008 one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Played a bunch of it and just never sat right with me. There's something about
You don't
it
have a soul.
Just
That game was
really
really
like.
divisive. Yeah.
I really liked the Sands of Time. Like, Sands of Time is one of the best games I've ever played. Like, I still hold to that, and I try not to play it again because I feel like that realization will get shattered. But
Spoiler
The
alert.
TVGP plays was rough.
Yeah. But I think that's the difference. Is I think people like Knobs and I skipped every Prince of Persia game from the original PC one until 2008. So we're like, this is really great. Yeah, it's simple and it's probably a little too easy, but boy, it looks good and it's just kind of fun to play. And then everyone else is like, this is garbage. Where's all this gameplay that I'm using? Like, what happened? You guys ruined Prince of Persia. And we're like, what? How? What? Which games? And it's like, oh, those 5 games we skipped? Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, here's one for me. Jack 2.
Oh yeah.
Jack 2 and Jack 3. I know Jack 2 is a little bit less loved than Jack 3. I think Jack 1 is a nearly perfect standard character platformer game.
Okay.
Jack 2 is really bad and Jack 3 is even worse. I know a lot of people are like, but it's like fun GTA, and I was like, that's not. It's pretty bad. Also, stop making him talk.
I may not have given it a
first
fair
one's great.
shake. Yeah, I don't think I gave Dishonored a fair enough shake, but I think I'll throw that out there. I just something didn't feel right about the controls.
Yeah, everyone was like, man, this game is really good. And I kept looking at... I bought it, and I haven't even played it, because I kept looking at people playing it. I was just like, I don't think I like this at all. Like, just even watching it. I don't... Which sounds dumb, but...
It's one of those things that it seemed to, like, on the server, you go through your litmus test, you're like, okay, it checks a lot of boxes, but playing it, I don't...
It's just missing something.
Man.
Yeah.
See, this is a good list of stuff we've never talked about before.
For sure. All right.
But I can't think of anything else that's really obvious.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give pretty much anything a chance, unless it's in, like, a genre I know I'm not. Like, RTS, like, I'll give it a chance, but I'm not going to get past, like, the tutorials, because I'm not good at RTS.
Yeah, like, I'll try anything that isn't a sports game or, like, a modern-day shooter. Because I know I'm not going to like them.
And even when there's like the exceptional sports games, like when the one NBA 2K game came out that was like it was like the Jordan Challenge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, well, I sort of have to try it. I didn't hate it.
yeah.
That's what I mean. That's why I'm scared to pick up another NHL game because I loved those games so much way back in the day that I feel like
Yeah.
I've been so far removed from it that I don't know if I could like it again.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Speaking of sports games, when is the next Tiger Woods coming out on PS4? Seemingly never.
I don't know.
It's not
I
even
don't know.
listed. Okay, good. Fun times.
Hopefully
Yeah,
they'll
I mean,
fix it, make it fun again.
Yeah, they're supposed to this year, so maybe it's just even years. It'll be good. All
Nice.
right. Good question, Millennial Buddha. Let's move on to
For
the
sure.
next one here. Gibionito writes in and says, "What's the longest you've waited to play a game you've wanted to play? I'm currently at about 17 years. I get to play it on Thursday. To clarify, that's the length of time from the game coming out to when you played it." Oh,
That's ooh.
I've got some PS1 games in my collection I've never played. However many years that is now. Probably a depressingly
Yeah.
long 15 years. Shudder to think.
I'm gonna say Symphony of the Night for me. That came out in the mid '90s? Because I was in high school when that came out,
Yeah, mid-late 90s, yeah.
mid late '90s, and I didn't play it until college till 2000. What
2?
year was it? 2?
Yeah, when the
Yeah.
PS2 came out.
I didn't play it until I think late last year. So
So you got like a good
I think-
15 years on it.
yeah, and then I'm gonna count Final Fantasy X because I mean, when did that come out? 2001.
2002, 2003. Around when
Okay.
the PS2 came out, yeah. About 10
Yeah,
years
yeah.
ago.
Yeah. So, and I'm just playing it now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was one of those games, like I have it on PS2. I've owned it on PS2 for probably 6 years.
Yeah.
I never put it in.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much any of the old classic PlayStation games.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
I didn't own a PlayStation.
I
Yeah.
can't
I
think
did
of
get a
anything
PlayStation
for me.
eventually and played a bunch of games on it. Like I hit all the like big ones I wanted. I knew I wanted to play on PlayStation, and I had an N64, so I didn't really miss anything on that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm drawing a blank for myself.
I'm seeing if there's anything on my little collection over here. I mean, Rygar. I think I picked that up maybe 4 or 5 years after it came out.
Oh, that's a good
Mhm.
one. The PS2 one?
Yes.
Yeah, I never played that. I have it. It's unsurprisingly, since my PS2 collection is ginormous.
yeah.
A lot of stuff on PS2, actually. I think I have... I'd have to pull up my software and see, but I think I have over 150 PS2 games. And
Wow.
I don't know. There's probably at least 25 or 30 that I've never put. I mean, the Red Star is still in its shrink wrap. Like there's a good amount of stuff on there. I just
Yeah,
never
you
got
can't
to.
open it now.
No, I can't.
No.
'Cause I think it's actually fairly rare, but I don't think it's worth anything.
Yeah.
No, I would say Metroid Prime. That was another probably 6 years after its release.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That I actually finally sat down and played it.
yeah,
Hmm.
Like I'm just thinking of big games.
yeah. I'm really drawing a blank.
All right, I tell you, Super Metroid. I didn't play that game. Really play that game. Like I've seen it. I played it. Same thing with the Mega Man X until it hit Virtual Console on the Wii.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
I have a dark secret that I have
Yeah?
never played Super Metroid.
Ooh.
I have to rectify that at some point.
Well, you might get your chance if these TVGP Game Club 18 results come in the way I think they're going to come in.
Ooh. Secrets.
Super Metroid's great, and like you usually get into this argument with someone that when you refer to games as Metroidvania,
Yeah.
and someone that played and loves Super Metroid, he's like, "No, it's not Metroidvania. It's Super Metroid."
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only reason there was an argument online the other day about who coined that term and when it started, and it was around the time that Symphony of the Night came out.
Yep.
Was the two people that said, "Well, these two games are similar," and then smushed them together. So if you
Yeah.
get upset about a term, like Metroidvania or shmup, come on. Find a hobby.
Oh, I've gotten that argument I don't know how many times.
Yeah, come on, guys.
Not that I was on the wronged side of it,
Right.
but it's like, dude, I'm sorry. It aptly describes a genre that I enjoy.
Yeah, and also, like, who cares? Sorry that Symphony of the Night is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's it boils down to, it's like, yeah, Super Metroid is good. Symphony of the Night did it better.
Yeah. It had a little bit more time, had a couple more years. Did it better.
Hence the cachet.
And then, you know what? Metroid Fusion and Zero Mission did it a little bit better than Symphony of the Night.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
just
every
sort of
subsequent game
Metroidvania.
of Castlevania did it better.
Yeah,
The Metroidvania arms race.
exactly. We all win.
Yeah.
It's a Mega Man Vania.
Yeah. Megavania.
Megavania.
And
You heard
one
it here,
last tweet
folks.
here comes from Almighty Tooth Knobs. What is best in life?
Ooh. I don't know. What is best in life? I feel like that's a movie reference that I just cannot think of right now.
It really is. You can also say
It's-
cheese
yeah.
sauce.
What is best in life? Oh, the slaying of my enemies, enjoying the lamentations of their women.
There you go. But also,
There it is.
but also cheese. Because cheese is really good.
Cheese.
Cheese is pretty
truffles.
great.
Yeah. Cheese
For knobs, I think we could have also accepted the Williams collection.
Yeah, other acceptable answers are the Williams collection,
Have me
cheese,
to start that again.
twice baked potatoes.
Oh, yes. Those are the
I just
best.
ate lunch before the show. I shouldn't be hungry again.
Got dinner cooking.
Oh,
It's good.
what are you having?
Pulled chicken.
Oh man,
Yeah.
dastardly.
It's going to be good. It's
All
going
right.
to be
I just ate a
super
bowl of
good.
guacamole.
All right, before we get back to Foodcast here, let's continue with emails here.
Emails.
First one is up is from Dave, aka RoboPig. He says, "Hey guys, and hopefully welcome back." With, nope, I already read that one. Sorry.
Yep.
Moving on.
Dun, 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 dun,
Email
dun.
from Timasil, which I love you a little bit.
Yeah.
I heard you say something in the last episode that struck me as interesting. You said that with Stick of Truth, you had a rare time where you beat a game. In the older gamer, I think the time you have spent gaming is much less than what it might have been. We now have jobs, families, other hobbies, etc. And unfortunately, the younger generation is begging for games that take months to beat, where if I only play a few hours a week, I feel overwhelmed by such large games. Do you have similar feelings? How do you go about fixing this conundrum? No story games, indie games only. And lastly, do you have a game or games that you feel like you wish you had taken more time to beat it, or maybe give it more of your attention? Yeah, I mean, we're in our 30s. That's a very real problem.
You're in your 30s.
Well,
I'm in my late 20s.
You're very close.
I'm very close.
Yeah.
My wife likes to remind me of that constantly. She's a few years younger than I am.
But yeah, I mean that's a problem.
Which side of the live stream are you on?
Yeah. But that is a real problem, and I mean there's always going to be that gap between I'm in high school or college and I have a ton of time to play games, yay! And I have a job, so this game is 40 what's now? For hours? Oh well, okay, that's not. I'm good.
That's not happening.
Or conversely, this game is how many dollars for 4 hours? I can't do that.
I have bills to pay.
Yeah, that $60 has to go to like keeping the lights on.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
come
like
on.
I have a counter question for Team Asil here. You have other hobbies. Where do you find the time?
Yeah, I can't. There's no way I can do anything else.
Yeah, right.
How can you put a price on entertainment?
Easily.
Yeah.
No, I guess.
$15 an hour is poor entertainment usually.
Oh, that's good.
I'm
Honestly,
getting up in
I
movie
find,
prices.
Yeah.
yeah, I find a lot of joy lately in games like Splunky
Yeah.
that are sort of infinitely repeatable,
Highly replayable small games.
Yes,
Yeah.
those. I mean, when I know I've only got a few minutes, I will just, or a game like Luminous, where yeah, like a full run will take me 2 hours, but I can play that in like 15-minute chunks
And
and
the
just sort
the
of hop in,
barrier
hop
to
out.
entry is really low for a lot of that stuff. Splunky is like 10,
Mhm.
15 bucks, and you can play that. If you're really good, a run takes you what, half an hour, 45 minutes if you
Yeah,
go all the way.
yeah,
And then usually you're playing for a couple minutes doing something dumb, and it's like, well, that was fun. Okay.
exactly. Which is why I really like games like Risk of Rain,
Yeah.
and I've sort of taken to that genre as I get older. But man, like I really want to beat Final Fantasy X, and I'm like really working at it. And I still only have like 13 hours in game.
I got to the end in about 30 hours, so
Okay, that's
it's
good.
not too bad.
Yeah, and I do
Well, I mean,
plan on doing a bunch of the extra stuff. So
Yeah.
that's kind of the tough thing is like what do we find digestible chunks anymore?
Yeah.
I find myself even in the Battlefield 4 campaign. What's happening again? Where
Yeah.
yeah,
like that those details aren't sticking in my brain like they used
Well,
to.
I mean, the
Mm,
Hannah is probably running into the same problem I am, where it's sort of like, all right, I have a little bit of time to sit down and play Final Fantasy X, and then I'll have to get up and do something, or something will be happening, and I'm sort of like, oh yeah, this game has save points. All right,
yeah.
I need like 5 minutes to remember where the save, and then go there, and then it's just sort of like,
That's less of a problem for me on the Vita because you can
that's
just
true.
Yeah,
suspend the game.
Yeah,
And I don't
that's
like if I'm playing a game on Vita, I'm playing that game for a while. I usually don't go in and out.
yeah,
But yeah, save points on like a console game where you don't have like a suspend option
they're
are
killing
just
me.
the death of me.
They are killing me.
Yeah, I
I
can
I have to
totally see.
agree. That's one of the biggest perks of having a Vita is you're not tied to sitting there forever
Yeah,
playing a game. Like
Yes.
you sit, wait, phone rang, go to sleep. Yep, no problem.
Yeah.
and
No problem.
even for me, sometimes when I go to work, I'll have like a 12 or 13 hour day, and I'll come home and I'll want to play something for a little bit, and maybe like 15 minutes later, I'm like, you know what? Nope, way too tired to do this. Oh, I have to
hmm
find a save. You know what? I'm just not saving. That's fine.
The number of times I have dropped my Vita on my face because I fell asleep playing it is embarrassing.
It
Yeah,
just has this nose imprint
Luminous.
in it.
Yeah.
Luminous puts you that hypnotic sleep, and you're like, flap. You're like, oh, come on.
So,
It's way too heavy of an item to drop.
so
Especially on your face.
yeah. So Timasil's question is, how do you go about fixing this conundrum? I I find games that suit your play style for now. There's
Yeah.
always going to be these roguelikes, or there's always going to be these games that you can pick up on the Vita, or same thing with the PS4. Most of those you can kind of
Yeah.
put in standby for at least a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't
Um,
know if you can come up with. I think the thing is that the majority of game designers and developers are aging near or faster than we are. So I
mhm.
think they're taking that into account, being like, no, people cannot sit here and watch this 1 hour long unpausable cutscene. That doesn't work
Yeah.
anymore. Like,
Oh, I'm so worried about not Final Fantasy, Metal Gear Solid 5 being like
uh-huh.
that. I'm so scared because I love those games. Those are the games, like that's one of the few series where I will go out and I will pay full price and I will like day one it and
Yep.
start playing it, and then it's like, ugh, an hour long
And then
cutscene.
I hit
I have to
stop.
make dinner.
I hit start to pause the cutscene, and it skips it. I'm just like,
Yeah.
great.
Well, just wait. Now everything's got motion controls. You're like, oh wait, I dropped the controller. It skipped it. No.
Oh, and now it did.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I missed good plot points.
And his question was, do you have a game or games that you feel like you wish you'd taken more time to beat it or gave it more of your attention? Like half of them nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean, I just, a lot of them are sort of like, well, hey, now the world's open. You want to collect all this stuff? And it's like, no, I'm going to go beat it.
Yeah.
Maybe. Half the time I get to the final boss and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll get back to this. And I don't.
Yeah, I wish I had had more time to play like Borderlands 2 or like just more time to play games with people online. Like
Yeah.
because when I have time, everybody's offline. Like
Yep.
it seems to be that sort of magical
Oh, we were
conundrum.
totally playing like an hour ago. Where were you? Work.
Yeah,
You have one of these?
Knobs is
Yeah.
holding up a smartphone.
Yeah.
Anytime,
It's-
buddy.
Yeah, I know. I'm just terrible at it. Every time I go, I want to play multiplayer, and then I go, nah, no, I don't.
Yeah, I'm
Like
good.
that's the entire thought.
That's
process.
usually my
Like,
problem too, where I'm like, oh, I could hop on. A bunch of my friends are online, and I just sort of be like, look, I was talking all day. I just want to sit here. I want to
Yeah.
just play a game by myself for like half an hour.
That's
okay.
starting.
I'll
That's
fire
starting
up
to
Fez.
shift. Yeah, that's starting to change for me because my new job's a little more. I have a little more time where I'm not being bothered with meetings and people, so that's really
Ah,
nice.
the dream.
Oh yeah.
The
Oh,
dream.
Uh,
That's
It is
great.
the
This
dream.
shot be great one for the customers.
yeah.
oh yeah. Oh god. Honestly, if I could work in a video game store again and like make a living wage doing it, I
Yeah.
probably would because despite like the fact that GameStop and like despite those places are evil, you know, the pre-orders, the discount cards, all that stuff, just getting to sit around and talk to like customers about games and
Yeah.
like you know asking people, well, what games do you play? What, you know, people that just come in and browse
Yeah.
and are like, you know, I want a game that's like this, and you know, I knowing exactly what they should play was always like that really good feeling. Like, hey, you really like Zelda, but you just got a PS2, you should get Okami.
Yeah. There's a mom and pop game store near me that I've been meaning to get to. It's actually fairly close to my work. I just
Nice.
need to swing by there one day because it seems like it has good reviews, and you know, pictures online seem like it has even back to Atari 2600 games on the shelves. You know, it's one of those types of like, yeah, we got everything, whatever.
Yeah, those places are awesome. We got a chain of them out here called Disc Replay in the Chicagoland area,
yeah.
and I will go there over any other place to get stuff. Like if I want to pick up something used, I jump to them first.
I need to find the California equivalent of the CD Game Exchange from the Cleveland area.
Yeah.
Where it's just sort of like, I'm going to go in here, oh, you guys have NES games? Like, there was one where I used to live in Ohio. I went in there, and I was looking through the NES games, and they had a copy of Tetris for the NES in the box for like $10,
Ooh.
and they had a copy of the first Final Fantasy for like $12. And I was like, well, now I have to take both of those. Like, why, how could I not?
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
remember we got
the
a-
exchange buybacks every once in a while has got some weird thing like,
Yeah, it's
how
like,
is this
how is that here and
$2?
it's $2.50?
Yeah.
T Missile writes, one that sticks out for me is GTA 5. It was a beautiful, well-done game, but I didn't explore nearly as much as I should have because I wanted to see the story and just move on to another game.
Yeah.
First ever email. Keep up the good work, guys. Thank you very much for writing in, T Missile. Please keep writing in.
Yep.
Good
Yeah.
questions.
Keep up the
welcome to the
great
forums.
screen name.
Yes, yeah, keep up the good name. Dave, aka RoboPig, writes in. He says, hey guys, I was wondering your thoughts on a couple recent announcements concerning the reputation system on Xbox One and Titanfall cheaters being banned to a virtual purgatory where they can only play with other cheaters. I don't have the info on the Titanfall announcement, but I recall it being very comical, letting cheaters know that they will be in a world series of aimbots and that they hope they spent enough on their aimbots. Do you think these sort of things can positively affect the behavior of players online, or is the only hope in segmenting the online population into good apples and bad apples? So the Titanfall one is really interesting because in some marketplace, someone started selling aimbots for Titanfall, which, first off, is kind of laughable.
Yeah.
But as they've been finding those, Respawn has just been putting them into this other series of lobbies with other aimbots, and they're telling you, I hope you spent a lot of money on your aimbot because everyone else did.
Yeah.
And with the Xbox One reputation system, they're kind of getting this sliding scale of, you know, good reputation, bad, or, you know, needs work, or kind of stay away from these gamers.
Yeah.
And I think there has to be something like that ongoing because I feel like that's kind of the way that you fix Xbox Live. You know, Xbox Live is famous for being the place where
Trolling?
14-year-old kids go to scream racial slurs and sing along to their music.
Yeah.
If we can have a place where all of them do that to each other, and I don't have to be anywhere near that, great.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
I had to listen to somebody pumping Young Jeezy today, and I was like, all right, I'm switching squads. No, screw it, I'm switching teams.
Yeah, switching platforms. I'm out.
Yeah, I miss the days of Counter-Strike when you would get someone that would come in and, you know, route their line into their microphone and start blasting their music over chat.
Yeah.
You could do awful things to them if you were the moderator of that server.
Yeah, like kick
That
them
was
from the
all.
entire server.
Kick them from the server, IP ban, or completely mute them and
Yeah.
disable all their, like, do funny stuff, like disable their
Oh,
guns, put them
perma-mute.
in the middle. Yeah.
And I feel like
Jeez.
there's some stuff that, you know, Microsoft and Sony have done to negate some of that stuff on the platforms respectively, but it's been primarily the game developers. You know, people had a parade in the streets when there was a button to mute all in Halo 4. You know, like
Yeah.
that we shouldn't be at that point. It should be, oh, I want to take this game seriously, so I'm in the taking this game seriously queue, and everyone else is in the
Yeah.
let's blast some sort of horrible music on my phone's speaker into my mic. You know,
Yeah.
that's not the world I want to be in.
And I
Yeah.
remember the original I don't know if it was original Xbox Live or Live when it came to the 360 had those sort of like categories of like, what type of gamer are you?
That was the 360.
Yeah,
That
and they
they did
tried
nothing
to do
with.
that. Yeah, it didn't do anything. You know, they didn't utilize that data.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Well,
it
I
seems
mean-
like they didn't really utilize the reputation system on the 360 either.
No.
Sometimes
no.
you'd get into playing with some people and it's just like, oh, you just use this gamer tag just to troll people in Modern Warfare 2. Great. Thanks.
Awesome.
But then you'll always have that group of people that are gaming the system to get to places they shouldn't be.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's
But you know,
Oh.
at that point, that's fine because I would like to assume that that's a pretty small percentage of people that want to go through that trouble.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, most of these people just want to play games against people online and be horrible to them. And I secretly think that half of them are looking for other people to be horrible back to them. And
Yeah.
this is the cesspool they're giving them. So
I
go
like
crazy.
that theory.
I sometimes I think it is kind of like a little masochistic, where it's just sort of, I'm going to call you a name so you can call me a name, and then we'll start yelling for the rest of this match. Because
Yeah, I can
that's
see
what's
that.
fun for me in Call of Duty. You know, that it's weird.
I think I heard someone break up with their girlfriend during Battlefield
Probably.
this week.
Why not? That's
That's
probably not the
phenomenal.
weirdest thing that happened this week. Someone's probably robbing a bank playing Battlefield 4. You know, like, who knows?
It's like the only thing that really drives me nuts is when people aren't conscious of how loud their TVs are over the mic.
That's the thing I hate the most.
Like, you know, you got to hear it through your headset too, man. Come on.
Well, and also, like, yeah, I don't know. Noise canceling only goes so far, so I can't. I don't want to hear your TV because you can't hear your TV because you're deaf.
Yeah.
Also, if
Maybe
this
you
wa-
start mailing out hearing aids.
well, and also this is what the game sounds like.
Yeah.
Turn it down. It doesn't change.
Oh.
All right, let's move on to the next email here. Our last email here from Montag, writing in again after a bit of a brief hiatus. Hello to all of you awesome dudes making this podcast happen. Figured I might as well write in again since it's been a while. So here's some questions. 5 questions this time. Number 1. You have the chance to bring back one game from current times and show it to a younger you, either to steer yourself in a certain direction or just to blow little you's mind. It's running on a system of your choice so long as the game is actually available on it, i.e. no Red Dead Redemption on PC. You also get the player base or whatever is needed to show off the game. What game would it be, why, and how would younger you react?
I think a younger me would lose their mind over Titanfall.
Yeah. Yeah, just I think at the very least the fidelity, and then be like, look
Yeah.
what I can do with walls. Here's the Titan.
Yeah.
Yay.
This is the future.
Yeah.
Ooh, God, that is a tough choice. I think I would probably bring Skyrim
Ooh.
and all of the mods to me circa like 2003, 2004, and I'd sort of be like, hey, you know that Morrowind game all your friends like that you don't care about? Give it some time.
I think I if I was to bring Skyrim back, I'd probably give it to, the younger me that was playing Final Fantasy 1 on the NES back when it came out, and sort of like, oh, you like that game? Here's this. It's 1,000 hours long. Good luck. I'm trying to think. I think younger me would probably be the most impressed by something that's really graphically impressive.
Yeah.
Like Infamous Second Son, or Assassin's Creed 4, or something.
Oh,
There's Castlevania Lords of Shadow on PC. Something where it's just like, oh, okay, this is something that's so unbelievably good looking. Oh, and it actually plays. It's not just a movie. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Can't wrap my tiny brain around that.
Maybe I would take. I might even take Portal 2 back to Genesis era Brian when he was really into the Lost Vikings, just to like get that puzzle game. Sort of be like, yeah, you think this is cool?
Yeah.
Check this out.
Yeah.
I would think. I mean, for me, I think I would take Shadow of Colossus back to when I was starting getting into games. It's like, look, this is the scale that you could see things in now.
Yeah.
That's not a boss fight. This is a boss fight.
Yeah.
Go Crocodile Dundee, the argument.
Yeah. Question number 2. You also get the chance to show a game from modern times, preferably a different game than you showed to younger you, to the general public in the NES days. What is it? Why would you choose it? And how do you think they'd react?
Oh man.
I would take Shadow Complex back and say, hey, look, they did it right.
Yeah. Do you like Contra? Here you go.
Yeah, that's a solid choice.
Oh, you like those dual stick shooters? Here's Renegade Ops. Enjoy, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The tough part is the NES days, because you kind of...
Well, I picked those two games because that was primarily like side-scrolling adventures and games like the Jackal, like where you just shoot in all directions.
I'm trying to think of a really good kind of 2D side-scrolling platformer that would be great.
Fez would be a phenomenal example.
Fez would be great.
Yeah.
Fez looks like it's out of that area, just done with better stuff.
Yeah, now with
Yeah.
boxes.
Yes.
Like, oh wait, the world rotates?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just imagine blowing somebody's mind with like, oh yeah, no, it just goes around.
Yeah.
Yeah, just wait for it to reboot. Oh wait, now we come to the third dimension.
Yeah.
Yep. Or just any MMO. Just take them World of Warcraft.
Yeah, everyone else in this game are people.
Like you know how right now you have to have 2 controllers and you have to have your friend here? Well, now all of your friends are everywhere and
all over the
you're
world.
all in the same world.
Yeah.
Like just that concept. Oh
man. Question number 3. What games do you have that you've never quite finished despite liking them? What about games that you were wanting to like but just couldn't do it? For me, it's Metro 2033. Love the game, always get distracted in the middle of it, and never really finished it. I felt like we talked a little bit about this in one of our previous questions, but I think it's a good question about what games you've never finished despite liking them. Where it's just sort of like, this game is really great. I'm going to put it down for a couple minutes. Whoops, it's been 5 years.
yeah, Lost Odyssey is that game for me. I've tried to play that game all the way through like 3 or 4 times, and I just never get to the end of it.
Shadows of Chernobyl.
For me, I think Metal Gear Rising.
Oh yeah,
I'll pick that up and be like, man, this intro level was great. Okay, I'm going to take a break now that we're getting into this other... Whoop, nope. Now it's done.
Yeah. I did that with Bayonetta as well. I was playing that early last year and just was like, this game is awesome. I'm gonna go play something else.
Yeah.
Bayonetta is surprisingly long.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Shadow Snow, like I think I picked that game up 4 or 5 different times, installed it on several generations of machines that I've built, and just never really quite finished it.
Oh, Planescape Torment.
Yeah, that's one for me too.
That game takes for you get into it, you're like, this is really cool, and then you hit there's a couple of places where you can hit a wall, and you're like, all right, where do I go now?
Yeah, like what's going on?
Yeah.
System Shock 2.
That's another good one.
Yeah.
That's another one. I bought a magazine because it came with it, and I still screw it up.
For me, it's probably the first Deus Ex, where you get through that whole first area and you're like, great, all right, you've got this whole open like cafeteria area, let me go. All right, I'll be back to it later. Nope.
That I don't think that game really shines till you hit Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I feel like there's like one more big game that I just don't remember out of this whole pile. Something that's GTA 5. Never finished that. I really liked it. It needs to come out on PC so the frame rate can stop making me sick. But that's about it. Next question. What games do you have that you play when you listen to podcasts or watch something in Before Luminous? My answer for me, it's AC4. After I finish the story, I just sail around the islands, 100% them, and move to the next. For me right now, it's Final Fantasy X. I've been catching up on like 4 months of Giant Bombcasts while I've been playing that game because it's all dun da 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 da, and it's all that battle music for like 10 hours at a time.
Yeah, and don't hit that enemy.
Yeah,
I don't think I've gamed and listened to podcasts since Mass Effect 2.
Oh, no. Just mining,
scanning planets.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do less podcasts, more audiobooks, but I will play Diablo 3 and listen to an audiobook and just I can't. That's why I can't wait for Reaper of Souls on PS4.
Oh, me too.
Because I'm gonna get so much reading done.
Yeah, a lot of people are always like, well, I can't believe you can play something and not listen to it or focus on 2 things at one time, but at some point, if you're playing something like Diablo 3, if you're playing something like Final Fantasy X, you know that music, it's waking you up in the middle of the night. And I would rather catch up on some sort of show I'm not watching or watch the Scott Pilgrim movie again because it's amazing. And, and enjoy 2 things at once because I don't need to give both of them my entire focus. I need to give each one probably about 25%.
Yeah. And I'm almost always that's why the PS4 has been such a revelation for me, because I will be watching something on PS3 that I'm streaming from my computer, or something on Netflix, and I'm almost always watching and playing at the same time. So I could be playing AC4, I could be playing Final Fantasy X, I could be playing Fez, Mercenary Kings, whatever I happen to be playing at the moment, and still paying attention to oh man, that dude's totally gonna die in American Horror Story. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that's a lot of it is for me. Music is probably the best thing for background on a game. Like I was playing a whole bunch of Puzzle Arcade, and I just got the Xbox Snap Explorer and throw Groove Shark up there and just play random, and it's nice. It's amazing. Things work, especially shooters, like a lot of multiplayer stuff. I can always have something going on in the background.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, it's just it's really nice that we, I always think back to when I was a kid playing Final Fantasy VII when it came out, spending most of my time in the Gold Saucer, and that music boring itself into my brain and killing me. And now I can like the Hannah's right. Now you can read a book, listen to an audiobook at the same time and watch a documentary on your laptop, or watch that dumb show you meant to catch up on. It's kind of it's kind of an embarrassment of riches.
It really is.
Next question. If you could be eating one food right now, what would it be? I want, like, a good, like, really hearty chicken pot pie.
Oh, man, I haven't had a good pot pie in so long.
I know.
My wife makes a fantastic pot pie.
I'm
I gotta
coming
put that
over.
on the shopping list
All
for
right,
next
I'll
week.
see you in 6 hours.
Yeah.
No, I really want this pulled chicken that I can smell right now, and it smells wonderful, and I can't wait to eat it.
Yeah.
The only thing I like better in my chili is making my own lasagna with my homemade noodles.
Oh, man. I could eat so much lasagna right now.
My lasagna is just... not to brag, but it is.
Primo. And the last question here, another round of that take a game, make it bad because you're trapped with it in hell that you did a couple episodes back. He says, my answer is Saints Row 4, but the humor isn't funny to anyone that hears it, and every time you use a power, there's a 50% chance you die and have to reload at last checkpoint. Oh, man.
I'd be stuck in with Duke Nukem forever.
Just vanilla. Just that.
Yeah.
You know, actually, I would go one step further. I would say you'd get trapped in hell with Duke Nukem 3D with no map.
Oh.
Because that game is almost incomprehensible. Same with Doom 2.
Yeah.
Wait, that game had a map?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wait. Duke Nukem 3D had a map.
Yeah, remember when we were playing on 360? It has a terrible map.
No, yeah, okay, yeah, all right, I remember that.
It didn't help us, but it has one.
I remember that we had 4 of us were so lost in that one spaceship.
Oh, I wasn't even there for that. It was just the 2 of us, and we were in the San Andreas Fault.
Oh, yeah.
Running around in circles, and we're like, I can't. This is impossible. This is the second level, and I cannot find anything.
Yeah, I remember that. Oh, yeah, we were so mad. We're like, we have played this game how many times? And, like, I don't know where to go. I think it took us maybe 45 minutes to figure it out.
Yeah, I think we just pressed the button that said San Andreas Fault.
And we're well over the hill of being adults, and we couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, we were hurt more than anything else.
I can see that.
We were having fun up until that point.
Yeah.
How about that?
Trying to think of... I would take Final Fantasy X's story and mash it up with Final Fantasy XIII's battle system.
Ooh.
That's my game from hell.
That's gross.
Yeah, that's just...
Oh, man.
I shouldn't have said it out loud, because now someone's...
You really shouldn't have.
Square's going to go make it.
It physically hurt me.
Yeah, I just got so acidy. Oh, whew. Sweating over here.
Just take Splunky and make it non-random. That'd be the most boring game in the world.
Yeah.
Just take the randomness out of the same levels every time. It would just be like, all right, well, I guess I got it eventually. It would literally be like a 20-minute game.
Maybe
Crackdown with a normal jump.
Yeah.
And the orbs are still up there.
Maybe the first Command and Conquer, but it took itself really seriously.
I think they kind of
that might actually make it better.
Maybe that's what that game was.
I think it took itself seriously, but it was so campy in the best way possible.
They had no budget. Oh man, I can't think of
Give me any Final Fantasy game without the run button.
Oh, so half of them?
Yeah, you have to just walk the whole way. But take 10 and take away your ability to run.
Yeah, take that slow walk.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed without the ability to climb.
There you go.
Oh, you just don't have a game anymore.
Man.
Or every time you do the leap of faith, you desynchronize because there's no way you survived that.
You just splat.
Yeah, you just splat.
Every time.
And you still get credit for everything, but it takes 20 minutes to load back up.
Assassin's Creed during the Revolutionary War.
All right, thank you very much, everyone, for writing in your emails and tweets. You can visit us at tvgp.tv, email us tvgpfans@gmail.com, tweet us at tvgp, and everything else is on the right-hand side of the page.
Come join us on the forums like Timo Sil. Don't forget to mark yourselves on the map. Probably my favorite thing in the world is looking at you guys all over the world.
Yep.
Literally. Still need someone in South America, though.
Yeah, South
Come on,
America
Brazil.
represent.
Monday Night Game Night. This week we're going to roll out with Gears of War 3. Probably next week, probably looking either Dead Space 2. We may even throw in AC Bro again and see what happens.
Roll the dice.
Thursday Night Game Night on Steam on the PC. Join the club, get your reminders, and come join us. Have a good time.
Voting for TVGP Game Club number 18 is currently up, and there is a super tight race happening right now. We're at 21 responses total, and it is... Oh, wait, hold on.
I forgot to vote. I'm going to go vote now.
You should go vote, and it looks like there's a certain game that has taken... not quite. It's one of the upper ones though.
What are the front runners?
The front runners currently, the current front runner is The Witcher, followed by Super Metroid, and then followed by a two-way tie of Planescape Torment and The Saboteur.
Really?
So we've got an interesting race going on here. It's still, I mean, everyone gets 2 votes. When you go to the forum, you can pick 2 games. So your vote counts. I love how it
reminds you, pick 2. You must pick 2 before you vote.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, I'm very happy you kept the Argyle theme that I picked originally as a joke, because I'm like, this is dumb.
Consistency, sir. Yeah. Consistency.
All right, I cast my vote. You at home can cast your vote too.
Indeed. So yeah, go cast your vote, and it's just let's make it happen, people.
And don't forget, you can watch this Big Dumb Show live every week at twitch.tv/E1M1 Network, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. And don't forget to check out Picking Up the Pixels at pickingupthepixels.com. Every month we talk about RPGs for quite a while, and we play a lot of really crazy ones. So if you want to hear about some questionable Atlas games that are coming up with some interesting terminology, you should check out episode 33. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. We'll see you all next week.
Laters.
Peace.
Titles. I don't have any.
Knobs?
Titles, please.
All right. So I've got a small list here.
Please.
Hot Final Fantasy X tips. I hardly won at all. Literally eye-bleedingly good. Raining death on everything. An array of SMGs. What in the world is that word? Hold on.
Giraffe.
Yeah, I don't know. 180-degree halo. It saved me from a cruise missile. The cat's bananas.
That literally made no sense.
Yeah.
180-degree halo.
What is it? The cat's bananas. I think I said that one already. Spraying everything with gels. My Sunday morning game. Get some moon rocks. Do you have bones? Megavania and World Series of Aimbots.
So I wrote down 180-degree halo.
Yeah.
The cat's bananas, which gets my vote, and Megavania.
Megavania is pretty strong, but the cat's bananas is.
That was real.
I might be able to find a picture of that somewhere on the internet.
Probably.
That's a pretty great one.
All right, I'm gonna circle that one. All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 337 for April 7th, 2014. The cat's bananas.
Woohoo!
Are they even supposed to eat those?
You peaked on that so hard. All right,
the best part is I'm not even facing the microphone. It's over there.
Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. We'll see you all next week. Bye.
Later.